question I get asked a lot by counselors is whether it's okay for them to become friends with their clients or to interact with their clients in social situations. And I'll tell you my answer, which is more or less yes. But before I tell you that answer, I have to say it's a weird question. Why would you have to ask that question at all? Well, the reason people have to ask it at all is because in the history of counseling, there are a couple of reasons why people get told that they shouldn't become friends with their clients. And one of those reasons I think is funny and should be discarded, and the other is pretty sensible. Here's the funny one. The notion is that, as a counselor, you want to occupy the role of counselor. Instead of just being a person, you want to kind of strip away the features of your life that make you unique, maybe some of your individuality and your personality. So you can be something like a kind of a blank canvas. And then your client can project onto you whatever the kinds of things are that they're trying to work out in interpersonal relationships, and that's really useful for them to get to work out with you. But this is flawed for a couple of reasons. The first is that you can't be a blank canvas no matter how hard you try. You just look how you look and you act how you act, and there are certain things that people would never project onto you. So it's not worth even trying to be a blank canvas. You're going to fail at that. But it doesn't matter. People project everything onto their friends, their family members that they want to, and none of those people are trying to be blank canvases. It's just one of the things that we do with each other. There will be plenty of opportunities to work out the kinds of things that come up in interpersonal relationships with your clients, regardless of whether you try to do that or not. But the other reason this is funny is that you want to be a whole person. What makes you useful to somebody is you being you, not you being a role, not you being a kind of a computer program that can deliver the perfect counseling interventions and techniques. It's you being a real person in a partnership with them, on a journey with them. Let me say a little bit more about that. But first, the second reason why people are told they shouldn't become friends with their clients, which is more sensible, is it makes the relationship more complicated. Having a counseling relationship and having a friendship are two different kinds of relationships. And not only do they need to be each kind of developed independently of one another, having a strong friendship with somebody does not mean you have a trustworthy counseling relationship with them. Having a strong trust in your counseling relationship doesn't mean that that makes you better friends. They have to be developed independently. But they can also kind of interfere with each other. If you're my counselor and I have some judgments or opinions about some aspects of your life that I know about because we're friends, then maybe we need to work those things out in the counseling relationship. And that's useful to do, but it's more complicated. So if you want a streamlined relationship that's just about counseling, just about you supporting the person and bringing about desirable changes in their lives, not being friends with them can facilitate that. But here's why I think it's a much better idea to become friends with your clients. A couple reasons here too. First, if you only know somebody in the context of a counseling session, you don't know that much about them. You know certain kinds of things that other people might not know about them because it's a very intimate context. But you don't know about what they're like in the world. You don't know what their homes look like, how they set up their bedroom. You don't know about how they interact with their partners or their family members or people on the street. You don't know what they're like at work. If you don't know these things about somebody, you're much less equipped to understand how they really are in the world and how you can really support them in being more how they wish to be in the world. You have a lot more opportunities to interact with people in natural contexts if you have a richer, multidimensional relationship with them. At least as important, though, is the second reason. If you want to be friends with somebody, you have to figure out how to like them. Now, I think everybody, in order to be an effective counselor, needs to love their clients. It's essential that you do that in order for you to really be of any use to somebody. And if you don't know how to do that, that's an important thing to learn to do. But that's actually kind of easy. It's harder to learn to like somebody, because to like somebody, you have to be able to appreciate their unique qualities, their idiosyncrasies. You even have to be able to appreciate the kinds of funny strategies that they use to try to deal with their struggles in life. You have to be able to appreciate the brilliance of the creativity that comes with the strategies that they use that get in their own way, or that make them seem like they're hard to like. You have to be able to see through the appearances and the person's personality to see who they really are, to really like them. And that's a useful thing to have to do. Whether they like you or not is a different question. And you want to be careful that you're not trying to make yourself likable. If they have stuff that comes up where they can't like you, that's really important in the counseling relationship too. But figuring out how to work through that so that you actually like each other, so you feel warm toward each other, so you want to share with each other at the beginning of your sessions about what's going on in your lives, that makes for a real relationship where you're really in a partnership, where you're really on a journey together. Now, if I had to choose between a world where everyone was given this rule as a pseudo-ethical rule that says don't become friends with your clients, and a rule that said you have to become friends with all your clients, I would totally choose the latter. I think we'd be much better off if all counselors were required to become friends with all the people they counsel. Luckily, we don't have to make that choice. You can figure out in individual relationships what makes sense, both for you and for them. But I certainly promote you trying to figure out how to develop more multidimensional relationships with the people that you're counseling. Now, I have to say, counseling is more than just a profession. And what I've been talking about kind of applies more than anything to professional counseling. In the rest of the world, I really encourage you to counsel your friends. The people who you're already friends with, you want to figure out ways that you can support them more deeply, where you can devote yourself to helping them create real change for themselves and their lives. And that means you're being a counselor with them. There's a much greater fluidity that's possible between being friends with people and having a kind of intimate connection that's about really working with each other through struggles to develop, to heal, to get free. That's possible. And our friendships and our communities become much richer when we can do that. So, become friends with your clients, counsel your friends. It's all part of the same process.